Broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
The Vigil show with the Voice of Stockton. We're gonna have a lot of topics to talk about. It'd be awesome. So far, we're gonna have a great thing happening about women who have a relationship with men that are incarceration. Okay. And I have a wonderful guest, are Margaret and Sabrina, and she'll be talking about their story, their resources. If you have a troubled relationship with someone, then they'll give you advice. Okay, here is her there. So welcome, Margaret, to the show.
Hello.
And hi, Sabrina.
Hi.
Welcome to the show again. I would like to talk about. So tell me about what the organization for people that are being abused, domestic abuse, being part of the that cannot get out and trying. Go ahead and explain it to the people. Go ahead.
There's resources in Stockton available to women who have partners who are incarcerated. One thing I think happens with a woman when she has an incarcerated partner is that she forgets to take care of herself. She's very worried about his well-being, which is understandable, but there are some things that she could do to take care of herself while he's incarcerated, and also if there's problems after he's released. One of the organizations that I would recommend is Friends Outside. This is an organization that helps incarcerated people and also their spouses. The way to be able to get a hold of Friends Outside is to just, I don't have the number, but they are Friends Outside. They're in the business section. And if you call them, you can get help with things like clothing, transportation to see your husband or partner. Also, they have a variety of counseling classes on things such as what to do when your spouse is released, some of the changes he might be experiencing, etc. And I would really recommend, and what I did when my husband was incarcerated was I sought out a counselor as well during the incarceration. I highly recommend that because it prepares you for what you're going to face when he comes home. Another thing that concerns me is after he's released, there can be some problems with him adjusting to life outside. And one of the things that I was not aware of was that your partner or your husband does not have to necessarily come straight home. If you feel you're not ready for that, through the probation department, you can, actually I should say, excuse me, the probation department is able to find housing for your partner or your husband. And so you can find out through probation. Your partner can discuss it with you. Maybe you can decide together whether you think it would be better for you to continue to live apart for a time until things can become so that you can live together again. the woman goes through so much when she's has a partner or husband who's incarcerated. It's a horrible experience. You can't just see him anytime you want to. You can't just speak with him anytime you want to. There's a lot of isolation, and so the tendency is to stay alone and isolate yourself. That's why it's wise to be involved in as many social events as possible. Get out, enjoy yourself as much as you can. I was involved in my church activities a lot, and that did help. You're still going to feel isolated, and people don't tend to understand your feelings. So sometimes you feel put down, berated, you feel like you're not understood. So that's where counseling comes in as well. So those are a few things.
Or just, yeah. Or just with other women that have faced it, like myself. I was had family members that were incarcerated, and I remember my uncles used to tell us, any man that gets locked up, he shouldn't expect you to wait or be there. You know, do the time. I did have experience at a young age, going to the prisons and visiting. I was out of high school. My first love was locked up at a young age. I remember the pressures being a young girl just to go and see him. Two of my cousins also would go with me. One of them had her husband in there, and he's now a lifer because he eventually went back. And that's the thing I was told, that a lot of times they go in and out. Why should us women be waiting for them to change? You know, we're not their mothers. You know, and also too the head trips that they go through when they're locked up. You know, they on those phone calls, all the I didn't have that experience, but from other women, you know, I hear stories, you know, they get stressed out and then they want packages mailed to them. But there is some men that do work in there and send their wives money or partners, like she said. I remember a time when you can send a money order. But it's very stressful when these women or mothers or their children are in line waiting for a visit, and your loved ones behind bars kind of expecting you to be there all the time. You know, they have a different world. And sometimes when a man or a woman does a long time, especially men, I have some friends come to me telling me, you know, hey, my old man did flat time, you know, years. He comes out, he's not affectionate. He doesn't show love. He denies me intimacy because he doesn't know how to be intimate. So there's a lot of things that if you don't have the experience or understanding or somewhere to go to think, you'll start, some women personalize it. Am I not good enough for this individual? Does he have somebody else? But these men come out, they're not the norm. So a lot of women don't know what they're getting themselves into or how to live with the situation. And like Mark said, the best thing to do is have them transfer to maybe a halfway housing, and the parole does offer that. Some women don't know, oh, he's coming home, all excited, you know, coming home, but you don't know what you're getting when he walks through that door, you know. Sometimes they're used to being isolated, you know, so they're maybe used to sleeping in their car, don't want to come in the house. Going outside is like going to the yard, pacing back and forth. They have triggers, anxiety triggers, being alone. You know, there's all these things that come into play. Each case, each scenario is different. But also, too, they don't know how to be fathers sometimes. And these women are screaming and yelling at these poor men, like, hey, you don't do this, you don't do that. You act like a kid. Well, they are, majority of them are. They have no social skills.
You know? I noticed that the new generation, you know, they get opportunity to get out of jail, and then they go, either they're in the gang or they're partial in the gang, and they go out, the mother are happy, their girlfriend's happy, and everything, and so I definitely think that, you know, they right away, not even 3 months, the girl is pregnant, and then right away they go back to jail, you know, and it's a common thing for young incarcerators that does that all the time. They keep making babies all the time after they go out to the system for a while, and they do good, and all of a sudden a friend or somebody who tempts them, oh, where's your loyalty? Where did they trying to get their ego up? That I thought you were my friend. I thought you'd do anything for me, whatever. But yeah, they stifle what consequences will have an effect in their life afterward. You know, they have that I don't care attitude. You know, I've seen them.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen it through my mom's friend and his son, and it's really kind of
it's dysfunctional.
Yeah. Perpetual cycle, and then you go out back to jail, and then I said, what there you're going back to jail? You have friend, you know, maybe the girlfriend denying that he might have a lover right there in jail, who might be his best friend. They take a shower together, they brush their teeth together, they have dinner together, and all that. They're all men in the jail, but yeah, I don't know. So it just kind of.
Well, they can't function, you know. They come out here.
You're right. Yeah.
Can't function in reality.
Okay.
Some of them can't even drive, left, right.
Okay.
They don't know direction. I'm not saying they. I should say there's certain individuals can't come out here. They never drove. Don't know how to use the ATM card.
And then, meantime, you are at home and everything's wonderful to you. You're making ready for him to come home. You're getting his favorite things together. I tried to make the environment just as wonderful as I could, thinking this was going to be a wonderful thing when he got home. Well, it was for a short time, but then he stopped taking his medications that were prescribed to him in prison, and he had formerly had addiction problems. He started getting into drugs again. It became a nightmare. He was violent. I was afraid. I had to watch everything I said, every move I made. I know that women out there live with this, and it's just absolutely horrifying. And the way sometimes you have to take steps, you have to, sometimes you may have to get a restraining order with a move out. You can just click move out on your form. Sometimes if you have children, as I did, they have to be out of the home. So
why is that? Why you took that subject? So for parents think that they cannot get their kid out of their home when their hubby or their boyfriend or their partner come back. You get a sense of false security among when he comes back to you.
Yes, a false security. That's a good way of putting it. It's a false security because, like Sabrina was describing, they're coming back from this entirely different environment than you've been in. It's abnormal. It's scary. They have to watch themselves all the time for their lives, and so that's a different environment that they're coming from than you being all excited that they're coming home and preparing everything, and then boom, it's very disappointing, but you have to land on your feet, because especially if you have young ones and people that are depending on you, you have to make sure that if they have addiction problems, for instance, that they cannot any longer live at the home, because it's against the law, and you can lose your children in that process.
And then what she just said to go, you know, what she just said is true. A lot of these guys have mental issues in prison, you know. Also, too, addiction. When they're healthy, they look good. Once they come out, you don't know what triggers them or what issues they have that can affect you and the family. You know, there's parole officers, too, that will tell you that, hey, if he's in the home, the kids come first. Here's my number.
That's right.
And if he has to go because the kids need adjustment. Because men forget they did time in there, and we've done time out here. And sometimes they don't get it that you ain't running nothing. You might run whatever in the prison or whatever your affiliation was or your mentality, but out here, I've been running it when you haven't been here. So there's sometimes women got to put boundaries with these guys. They'll respect you. You know, like me, we had a conversation before. I don't like talking about my past,
Right.
but I've been with some rough men, and as little as I am, and you know, smiling faces as I am, I'm not gonna let no man run me.
Right.
You
So
know,
you-
so
do you
women got to put their boundaries.
right,
Hey,
rule.
this is my home.
Uh-huh.
Go fix yourself. I love you, but go fix yourself. Sometimes you gotta be fragile too, because you don't know what baggage they have. But me, I talk like that. I don't care what baggage you have. Sabrina, this is Sabrina's world. Go fix yourself. This ain't St. Mary's. This ain't Social Security.
Right.
You want to be in my life, you got to be productive.
So for women that I don't know what you're trying to get to have structure, what's priority?
Yeah.
His safety, your safety.
Yeah.
The man, it has to be like almost to the last to make sure that your come first.
Yeah.
The children come. I mean, the children come
Yeah.
first.
It don't make no sense to take care of a man when you got these kids to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, some women, I'm not judging because I don't. They've married men in prison and took care of them the whole time, stretches 28, 35 years. I've known some.
Okay.
And, you know, those women are remarkable because I was like, I couldn't do it.
They're amazing.
I could not do it. And
That's because their self-esteem is so low.
Well, you know what?
That they constantly tell them, "Where's your loyalty? I thought you loved me. I thought you loved me."
Well,
The attitude.
depends.
I thought you loved me. That's the word. I love. The word love in the picture. It triggers a woman's mentality. Like, I want to be loved. So if any man, love me.
But you know what,
love
Doug?
me,
I'm gonna be
it's
honest with you.
love.
That's one part. But there's some women, they love that lifestyle.
Okay.
They love to be with men from the joint.
Okay.
It's a thing where, oh, I got my man. He's locked up. He's in San Quentin. He's in Pelican Bay. They like that excitement. Something about
Bad
that.
boy.
I don't know about the
They
bad
were
boys.
like-
I think they got mental issues too.
Yeah, okay,
Because
that's
you
good.
know, because I'm not saying that anybody that marries somebody in prison and got mental issues.
I
I've known some women that just love to be what they call down for some dude.
Right.
They're just like pen pals all over. Oh, met him in the joint, got married to him. You know, I mean, there's a difference. Some women, there's women that are innocent, don't know that lifestyle, but like, oh, nurturers, believe in a man. Oh, he loves me, and you know
He'll
what?
change on
He's
his
gonna
own.
change. Good intentions, good women that could be destroyed because they don't know what they're getting themselves
Yeah,
into.
but sometimes those women will have like a co-enabler. Like, for example,
Maybe.
I know my wife would tell me, Doug, you don't need this medication, you know, and you need to cut it out cold turkey.
Yeah.
But yeah, you cannot cut my medication cold turkey because you have to wing it off in order to prove them you love that
Mm-hmm.
person. And you constantly have to have that proof. Are you willing to die for me if you love me? If you're gonna go all the rule over the stand, it's a
Yeah.
manipulation on the mentality.
But then
of
some
those-
of these women are Christians, full blown, and they believe in their faith.
Uh-huh.
There's some good women.
I do.
There's some good women sometimes fall victim, and when they come home, because they only see them on the glass or maybe touching, depends on the situation where
Right.
they're locked up. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I've
But you're an
Experience
expert
and life
what you know
experiences.
You're talking about.
It took me, I've been to visit, like I said, somebody in prison when first time I was 19 years old. Okay, I didn't like it. I didn't like the lines. I didn't like have to go back and dress. Then later on in life, I did it too. I didn't like it, and I let that person know. Once you get transferred out of DVI, I ain't coming back. Letters. Don't be calling me for nothing. Don't be calling me collect. They can get phones in there.
Oh, really?
No, they can. They could
Now
get caught. They
know
get caught.
they get-
No, we.
and the cell phone,
Some of us women gotta understand. We're here to support our children.
Right.
We could send you a letter.
Okay.
We could send you pictures. You know, if we decide to go visit you, hey, appreciate us. Don't sit there and argue with me because you ain't never gonna see. You know, there's some women that just need to there's boundaries out there. I ain't the one to tell anybody how to live their life. I've been behind my back talked about because I was with somebody incarcerated, but he was out here already, so he had some skills. You know, I wasn't those ones that, oh, I'm gonna go and marry somebody in prison. No, he was different. I didn't see no macho in him. I seen a man hungry to better himself, and always admitted that he has hang-ups, and always apologizes, and knows when I get upset that it hurts his feelings. But sometimes a person like me, I have low tolerance. So sometimes I gotta relax and say, you know what, Sabrina, just look at things differently. Like I said too, it depends on the woman.
Yeah, it definitely gonna depend. Like you said, the woman, like when a man constantly have to apologize, it's a little pathetic. How many times I have you keep telling you apologize, you keep doing the same thing all the time, and it's a perpetual way.
But you know the difference between manipulation,
yeah,
sorry, or sincere sorry, because if somebody done a flat time is different than in and out.
right.
In and out, yeah. I've known somebody that was a lifer, did 5 years, and he didn't have those situations, those things that we were talking about, triggers and all that. But he still didn't do nothing with his life.
Right.
Didn't do nothing with his life. It's like, wait a minute, these guys are coming and doing a hard time. They want to do something. You know, this individual had his freedom. What'd you do with it? You know, so it depends on the situation. We can't always.
You know what? I totally agree. You know what? Honestly, I understand that people go through a domestic violence. I go into my man, like, it's different than men, but people don't never. It's very, very rarely talk. It's taboo. Oh, a woman beat you up, a man. You know, it's like taboo. It's like you know, but nevertheless, it's a matter of, you know, relationship.
Yeah.
You know, a trust issue. You know, the one thing I tell my people when I was a minister, I always tell people the first thing you need to have: spiritual love, mental love, physical love, and there's another spiritual and mental love. You know, everything has to be secure with all things to be around it. But if you don't have any of those three missing items, it's not going to work on your relationship, because you got to have that stuff. Because you got to love yourself first before any man, you know, you don't that will appreciate you. Because if you don't care about that man, if you take advantage, they'll be taking you bitch, this bitch, and all that, and that's not to me. I never grew up. I grew up as a gentleman. Open the car, open the door for a woman, I still have that value. But when it comes to degrading women nowadays in Facebook and Twitter and all that
it's
stuff,
not cool.
They think it's okay for that, and it perpetuates men it's okay to put down women, because it degrades the women, because that's what they want, be degraded. So I don't know if that's kind of like what the media is going through. That you see it on Instagram, you see it on Facebook, you see it on Twitter, and with women are still victimized by that, you know, by those things. And when they see, when you like you said, when you have incarceration, they believe what the outside world, it's okay to victimize a woman, and it's not. In reality, you know what I mean?
The statistics are 1 in 7 men are abused and 1 in 4 women are abused. So, speaking particularly to the woman who has lost her voice because of domestic violence, she is living in an environment where she cannot use her phone without being scrutinized. She cannot even go out the door without being scrutinized. She's told.
Hold on. What can I mean? I can't find what that word.
Scrutinized without being stopped, prevented from going, and asked, you know, where she's going, what she's doing, very unreasonable things, not willing to take any answer, no matter what it is, to go somewhere. So there's women that are not heard and not seen, and these women are under tremendous, very violent situations. I was one of those women, and the fear and the mental abuse I've walked away from have left me still healing from that. My husband we're separated. He is currently doing very well. He's in recovery and really working on his own life. But during that period of time where you have that fear, I encourage women to get up somehow sneak, do something to get down and put yourself in a safe place. Go down and report things to the police. If you don't feel safe doing that, you can get a restraining order, and the whole process will not be known to your partner or husband until they come and get him and take him out of the house. And if you have any questions about this, contact the Women's Center if you're in an extremely violent situation, because my heart goes out to you if that is the situation. It's
not only that,
painful.
I think also I have seen women that through family and that they can't. The man is over there with the women. They're like cops everywhere they go. Who are you calling? Where are you going?
Yes.
They're always together. You know, keeping an eye on her, what she's doing and what she's doing. Oh, why are you looking at him? And you're paranoid. And you're just looking at it or something. They control you. You know, or you go out with a friend and you say, I'm here. I'm ready to pick up, and yet you have no consideration. You be waiting for 3 hours for them to come and pick up when they feel like it. You know, no consideration. That I have seen that.
That's an abusive person.
Huh?
That's an abusive person.
Yes.
Controlling.
So that's something that, to me, that is more like a domineering person that's trying to control those. Okay. Many, not only that, speaking as a man, there's a lot of culture that treat women as property.
Yes.
They do. They do treat women like property. Like, don't touch my women. Don't even look at her. Don't even. What are you looking at her for? You know, they're getting insecure, and yet they don't have. They treat women like property.
Sometimes that could be from growing up. You know, my father used to always tell me with my kids, you know, give them a cariño, hug them, kiss them. Some of these people come from prison never had love,
Right.
so they can't handle it. That's why it's, you know, that's not making an excuse. It's just giving understanding.
Right.
You know, I've dated men that I wouldn't even pursue no more because they got issues I can't, you know, I couldn't deal with. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to, you know, go out with you no more. But because in my mind I'm saying, no, you got too many issues. You're going to try to control me.
Right. So do you think it depends on the woman's ages that when you know that you're in a dead end relationship, but when you're young and you're in love with somebody, you're like you're
No, you make
love is
mistakes,
blind.
yeah.
And when love is blind, you cannot see they're flawed.
When
Like,
you're our age, there's no time for mistakes no more.
that's right.
Get out,
Yeah.
beat it.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was just thinking
That's
about
true.
this the other day. I know what you're talking about, and it takes people a while to get to a certain place
Yeah.
where
that's
they
true.
can have the ability to think like that and actually do something about their situation. There, sometimes you love someone and you have to do things that you don't want to do, or you have to do things that you know you're ready to do, but you still love that individual. But you were talking about, Sabrina, about women that have faith and their husbands
woman.
are incarcerated. If that's what they have felt and feel like they have heard from God, then that's wonderful.
And I respect
I
that,
respect
you know. Yeah,
that,
me too.
yeah.
But sometimes those things.
We can't judge, though. We can't judge.
Sometimes the women have this false fix that, you know, that the men have to change for themselves, not for the women.
That's
you know.
true.
So when you have faith and the man is doing by action, not by word of mouth. Even Jesus said, it's not by
Yeah.
prayer alone. It's not without prayer alone. Without action, it's dead.
Yeah.
James.
So you have change. So basically, when I see that, like there are good women that are willing to change the man with a price. When it's gonna change. But but it could be an alcoholic, it could be an addict, it could be domestic violence. How far away you don't have to walk away. That it's not. It's a dead.
And you can love them at a distance. That's
Yeah.
what women gotta learn sometimes.
Right.
Like with my daughter, she was a teenager. I was 17 years old. She had this young boyfriend that would end up going to jail, the county. And he was gonna go sent to DVI after. And I told her, Mija, I'm telling you, he ain't never gonna do nothing for you. I didn't share her my experiences through life, but she listened. I go, Mija, no matter what I say or what I do, you're gonna do what you think is in your heart.
Right.
But listen to me. You're growing. That's not love. But let you figure it out. I told her. This is my opinion. You can always love him, but let me tell you, only reason why he's calling you and wants you to visit him, because when he's out, does he pay attention to you? Does he acknowledge you? He only comes around when he wants to. I go, you got to wake up. When he got locked up, guess what? Writing her, calling her, and I told her, watch when he gets locked up, you're going to be the one. He's going to be, oh, come see me, come visit me, and oh, calling me mom and stuff. I go, he's running drag. And there's guys like that. You know, he's running drag. I told him, yeah, he's locked up. He did you a favor. Go do what you want to do. I will never tell him.
Right.
Why? Because when she was out, he wants to know where she's at, where she's going. I told him, yeah, you got the signs already. Either domestic violence is going to pop off, or he's doing something behind your back, or he's insecure. He can get violent. Not all the times it's domestic, but he just had certain control that I seen. And I said, Mija, do you want to live like that for the rest of your life? Kick it. It's like a drug. Kick it. That's dysfunctional. Because as humans, even women, we can get addicted to that behavior.
Right. You pull together down.
So when he got out, guess what? He never called and talked to her again. He got somebody else. She goes, Mom, you were right. So I told him, man, you got to learn now. There's some guys that go in there just playing games. But then there's some in there that are really, really, really made mistakes and can be worked with. But that one right there is going to be in and out, in and out. She goes, Mom, how do you know? I go, I just know. You know,
No, you're going through that.
Yeah.
Like I said, life is repeated stuff. When we go through a life, when we're young, our youth, we don't know. We learn what is love. Love is infatuation.
Yeah.
Love is like you want to, you feel love, you feel a little.
But I can't.
And all that stuff. And
Yeah.
But
Doug, you can't tell kids that when they're growing up. You got to understand them, because I would have pushed her away. If I would not been understanding, in my mind, I wanted to tell her, run. If I would have never been understanding, she probably would have latched. And parents don't know that sometimes, that when their kids are involved with someone they call the bad boy, if you go against them, guess where they're going to go?
Right there. Yep.
And let me tell you, she's one time brought somebody over with a pistol in his pocket. I'm like, ooh. I was like, do you know what you... I didn't raise you that way. But it's like I said, somebody want to be studio gangsters. Some young women want to be don't know that lifestyle. And I told my daughter, you weren't. Now me, I told her, I seen it growing up. You didn't. No, you don't know how to handle it. Not saying that I'm better. The experiences in life, it didn't take me down.
You gotta be a tough woman to know those type of man. Because if you're so fragile and you let a man.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you. All right. No.
You know, my aunt had the same problem. My aunt's been abusive with my uncle for a long time. I never liked him, but he was always putting down. My aunt, she was very insecure. You know, he thought that he was the only he was from the old school, you know, in the old country, you know, he didn't respect the man at the part of the household, but he took advantage of that. But yeah, he never appreciated, she had to work, she never paid a dime for child support, never worked, he was pretty much all the provider. How much low, I mean, I said, how much low can a woman can take from a man?
But then sometimes
that love that is so blinded. That's what I'm trying to say. That love, you know, even though
sometimes some women didn't ever have no one tell them. You know, what my dad used to tell me, when a man isn't doing right, there's always one around the corner, willing to appreciate.
Right.
And I never left my head.
Right. Amen for that.
I love
what
myself.
What do you think, Betty? So quiet. You're just smiling.
That's a good daddy. That is a good daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know, I hate to brag about my uncles and my daddy, but I had role models of fathers. Like they said, you're good. The problem with you women is the heart.
Right.
Think like a man. But then that can get you caught up because then we'll be too independent. We'll be the best providers, and
Very
that man
emotional.
don't want to do nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have a guest pretty soon coming up. His name is Dave Ying. He's getting ready to settle up. You know? Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. Did we get a stool, an extra stool, please?
It's already set.
All right. Thanks.
Dave.
Sorry.
All right. Welcome. We got into the meat of the heart of the issue about domestic violence and everything.
Just being men with being women and being with men that just came out of prison or married them while they were in prison.
Yeah.
Or just had a repeat pattern of men that were incarcerated.
Yeah. Especially with people that has done a lot of time, like myself, and that.
Hold on. Let me put you on here.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I can't. Wait a minute, it's the wrong one. How can I put you? All right. Okay, Dave. Tell me about your version of. Okay, the women tell me their version. What do you think about women when you're incarcerated? Do you feel that you have women outside the world waiting for you to come out and knowing that there's something that play a part on those type of issue and that like there are different they were talking about give an example. My mind kind of thinking
We're talking about
yeah.
Sometimes women. I've seen women that are good women, never knew anything about the streets or hustling or all that happens in prison. Those kind, the population with mental health,
Right.
the negative parts.
Right.
They meet some guys in there, they've never had the experience.
Yeah.
Guy comes out, they walk on them like this is gonna be my knight in shining armor, and then
Right.
boom, one day they see all these triggers, all these issues that they never thought.
Yeah.
And there's women too that that marry these men liking the fame, they call it,
Yeah.
being with somebody that's been in the joint. So
Yeah.
that's
well,
what we're talking about.
yeah, because they're looking from the outside of it. You know what I mean? It's like someone who's interested in boxing and he walks by the boxing gym and he sees he looks through the window and it's interesting. But when you actually have to do the work, then it becomes discouraging. Well, the thing is with that is that, men like myself who's been incarcerated for 30 years, right? We forget, we think that we're still free, but we're not, because we're holding on to a lot of issues that we had before going into prison. So if we don't correct it now, right, then we're going to still bring that into the relationship. They've been free, they've been in society free for 30 years, right? So they have a certain expectation, right? So when men come out, such as myself, entitlement issues, right? We have entitlement issues, right? Where the men, you listen to us, you know what I mean? We run the show, right?
That's what, but the thing is, that's the point that we're talking about. Because I brought that up that as a man,
Right.
we treat women as property, as their own.
Yeah.
We take,
Right,
hey,
right,
if you don't
right.
touch don't look at my woman,
With the lack
don't
of
even talk
respect.
to my woman. You have to have respect.
Right.
You have that common lottery that hey, you know what? Don't even look at her. We have.
Right.
But at the same time, at what point? That the Bible said you are the provider, you're the head of the household,
Exactly.
but you have to love your wife equal to you.
Right.
So you have to have that trust, the issue of the trust with your wife.
Right.
But at the same time, when in a lot of culture, that men that treat women with property, the mentality is to degrade women.
Right.
She has no power what I'm gonna say or what I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
No.
It's like the caveman carrying the club and dragging the woman by the hair.
Right.
Into the cave.
So as the person in incarceration, the mentality that they come out to the world thinking that the woman gonna be loyal to them and get abused like she's been abused before by that. How how that the prison have any counseling, or just waiting to be loyal? But like sometimes once they go to jail, the woman outside, they didn't have nothing to do with her.
Right.
But the minute she went in, I want to talk to you, I miss you, I want you to write me down, love me, whatever, and they go visit. But when they come out, they don't want to have nothing to do with her, and they want to find another woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what it is too.
What?
A woman that visits a man in prison. Right?
Okay.
They go spend 2 hours the most a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You drive a long distance, you stand in that long line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting in front of your mate for 2 hours. After that, you're gone.
That's not enough time.
That's not enough time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna know the person when you have that intimate relationship. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That one-on-one,
Right.
Right? That knowledge. Oh, I didn't.
Do they have that relationship booth right there in prison?
No, no, because men come out. Men come out, right? They think they got it together until they face these issues out here, right? These triggers, these non-coping skills, right? A lack of job, right? On the financial stability, right? And they don't know how to deal with that, man. Like me, they feel inadequate. Sometimes I get stuck, and I'm trying to find a job, and I just can't, have.
You feel frustrated.
I feel frustrated.
Right.
Right. So I act out, and I might bring that into the relationship, because I don't know how to cope with it. Nobody taught me this in prison. You know what I mean? So until you experience it, right, then we pass this education on.
Right. So why?
It's a live and learn.
Okay, so when people are incarcerated, are they giving a counseling, dealing with life coping skill once they leave, or they just you do your term and then get out?
Yeah, you do your term. You could work on anger management, victim awareness, gang, associations or whatever, but it's up to you. It's up to the individual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The relationship is only in the letter. The 2 hour a week visit, if that. You might get it once a month, or a 15-minute phone call.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Times 2, if you're lucky.
So okay. But the women point at when it comes to incarcerating, when the men point of view, at the women point of view, I want to hear from the men point of what do you expect from a woman to do for you when you're out in incarceration. You're out of jail.
Like for me, right? I don't know how to fill out an application. I don't know how to go online, right, and fill in an application for a job. Nobody taught me this, right? So I look for my partner, right, for help, and I expect her, because she's my better half, right, to support me in that. She does all the time. You know what I mean? And she has more on her plate in this relationship. She carries a lot, so I try to go and not put a burden on her. I try to be considerate in that area, But there's a lot that we don't know because we've been locked up. In our mind, when we're sitting in that cell and we say, okay, we're coming home, right? It's cool because all we have to do is just get an ID, go get a driver's license, right? Go get a job. But there's all these other things that we ain't familiar with. You know what I mean? So we run into it, and when we have that struggle, we don't know how to, nobody taught me how this. I didn't read this from a book. You know what I mean? Nobody pulled me by my ear and said, "Hey, man, this is what you're gonna go through when you come home." So go on.
That's why David at the parole, the lifers meetings, he lets the parole staff know that hey, we need support groups for our women. No one's thinking about the woman in there, and not to be upset. David knows how my family is, and my uncles are a very strong influence in my character. And my uncle used to always say, any man that comes out shouldn't even have a woman. He got to work on himself. And David always agreed on it.
Right.
He always, when I talk about stuff, he knows I'm not bashing. It's the truth.
Yeah, it is.
Why you want a woman when you can't even
but
do certain things?
But let me ask you this. Okay, I'm gonna look at the man point of view.
Yeah.
A man point of view is like, who's gonna take care of me?
Well, I don't know, because David
well,
said
that's
that to
what
me.
I'm looking at
Yeah.
the man point of view, not the woman point of view. When I'm going out of jail, I'm gonna say, who's gonna take care of me now?
Yeah, there's a lot
I'm a
like
woman, or I'm gonna have to look for a woman that's gonna be stupid enough to take care
No,
of me.
they look for women that have
no,
kids. They can live off
no.
them.
But I'm saying, I'm talking just realism, okay? People gonna got their ass
That's
in
the other
jail.
side.
Yeah, and they're looking at. Oh, sorry, my language.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, just my point is that the at the man point of view, when you're in jail, you know you are labeled. A label as a person
Right.
with conviction,
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and that's a negative thing on your behalf, on my
Right.
part, whatever. And if a woman see you, think that he could fix you, then all right, you know, I'll let her take care of me and fix
That's
me.
false.
When,
Can't fix
what
nobody.
Yeah,
but
a false
that's reality. Because I have seen that.
Yeah.
But,
That's true.
yeah,
But-
you might contribute to the help, right? And
Uh-huh.
that's a possibility, man. But you know, you got to carry your load. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I love working. I want to work. You know what I mean? Just point me and I'm there,
Uh-huh.
right? So, but I feel like when I don't do my part, right?
It's frustrating.
No, not only that, but
Discouraging?
it's a missing link in my life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That needs to be filled because I know that I'll never go back to prison. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because I have coping skills now. I have a whole bunch of tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but when it comes to certain other things, that's where I'm lost. You know, and I'm still learning, right?
So okay, now you said coping skill.
Yeah.
Okay. What is in prison that they taught you in coping skills that you're not using, that you think is not working when you get frustrated, as far as that concerned?
Well, let me be the first to say I have jealousy issues. You know what I mean? And you know, nobody told me or showed me how to work with that jealousy issue. It's something that I have to struggle with. It's something that I do struggle with, but I'm trying to better myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Everybody got jealousy,
Yeah.
insecurity issue when it
Right.
comes to jealousy. But when you're married,
Yeah.
you made a vow. You know, I believe in vow. You know, when I was married, I was I was abusive too by my wife, but
Right.
I took an honor vow. I said, look, I take my vow sacred. I take it with me when because I'm a very religious person.
Yeah.
I take my vows very seriously. To honor, to obey, and then not to. And when if I get married with my wife,
Right.
I say, honey, we need to talk.
Right.
Well, I don't want to go to
Yeah.
bed angry, and
Yeah.
I cannot sleep because
Yeah.
if I can't sleep, I can't stay mad. So I have to say, honey, I'm sorry, forgive me. You know, because God always, you're not perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's not perfect. When it comes to jealousy, or
Yeah.
flawed, or
Right.
anything like that,
As long as he don't act on it, because David knows me. I know the look. I say, you better not. So he'll go
but
and
that's
think
his flaw.
about it.
But
No,
that's
he'll
his-
just leave the situation. And
yeah,
he'll
but
come
that's his
back.
flaw. That's his character.
Yeah.
Because when you have a character that the way it is, you can't
It's a
change
character
it
defect.
overnight.
Yeah.
Right.
So how you
you know, change comes over like in stages. It
Right.
don't come overnight. We know
Yeah.
that. But it's a work in progress.
Right.
Right. So you know, may God make it easy for all of us.
uh-huh.
You know, let me say that, right?
Mhm.
But you know, we have to understand that. I know if my wife has an anger issue, right?
Mhm.
I'm not going to provoke that, right? I'm going to try to say something positive over something negative, right? Because if you hear enough negative, you'll end up believing it,
Right.
and once you believe in it, you'll start living it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was me in my past, right? Because I was always put down. I was always told that, hey man, you know, you got a lot of faults. You ain't gonna be nothing. And I truly believe that, man. Right?
You believe it now?
I don't. I love myself.
Okay,
I
good.
love myself, man, because I know I'm better than what I used to be, right? So I'm on the right path,
Amen.
right?
Don't you
Yeah.
think, though, that jealousy, we all have it. It's how you react to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not what people say or do.
It's
right?
how you react and the kind
how
of
you let it
actions you
affect you.
take.
You're
Because
right,
my
right,
husband
right.
had problems with jealousy also, and they
Right.
got
Right.
to a violent point. So
Yeah,
that is
right.
not the way to react, because for one thing, that's against the law.
Yeah, you know, violence.
So you have to
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes
react right.
we have insecurities in our life,
Mhm.
right? and just like I said, you know, it's a work in progress, right? I'm working on it. I'm questioning myself. You know, is it worth it? Why am I feeling this way? You know, what am I going to do? How can I substitute it? You know what I mean? How can I not make someone else a victim, right? And I struggle, and I'll walk away. I'm cool, man, right?
He
Right.
knows not to
Right.
bring
You
it
have to,
boundaries.
yeah.
He knows not to bring
Right.
it to me, because I'll tell him, hey, I didn't make you that way. Get out of my, go do
Yeah.
your thing. Stay
Yeah,
away from me.
She has a way of checking me. Let's just say that, right?
Yes.
And keeping me in
Well,
line.
I mean, it's good. It's good to
Yeah.
women take care of men
I
as
said,
well.
you
as
too
take
cute to
care
be
of the-
tripping.
Yeah, both ways. But okay, we got
And
5
he
more
laughs.
minutes. We got 5 more minutes left. But
should
now
be jealous.
I'm gonna give 4 minutes to the people, the last word to say, and I'm gonna give my last piece of my comment. What I've been hearing with it's very good. What you gave good resources
Right.
coming from the woman standpoint, what they go through to a man, incarceration, and hearing from what your standpoint, as you facing the world of inadequate and jealousy and insecurity back into society.
Right.
So, so that's something that people we need to have that open dialogue in
Yeah.
in the county and within the
Right, we got to keep it alive.
yeah, we have to keep it in the
That's
county. I
Right.
mean, in the community.
Right.
That there's no perfect being. Only Jesus is the perfect being. You know what I mean?
It's awareness. You
It's
gotta
awareness
know.
that people have to go through life struggling, but you know what? You don't have to be a victimizing yourself. If you, like you said, you're trying to find a job.
Right.
There's so many jobs. There's so many jobs that people don't even want a job. So, like
Oh, yeah.
mechanic, the skills.
If you know somebody that's throwing away a job,
No, I don't.
point them to my
He did
direction.
some landscaping
Right.
the other
Oh,
day.
landscape is very good.
With the
Cement,
Spanish or
yeah.
cement, with some
Cement.
Spanish speaking
Yeah.
guy, he'll work.
Yeah.
But it's
So,
good. But
yeah.
any
You-
job
you
is
know-
a good job. You know
Right.
what?
Yeah.
Because I
Right.
think.
Did you play? We're gonna
Well,
play
what we can
Taco
say,
Bell
what?
too.
Yeah. Right. Ain't no
He ain't
no
picky.
job is good enough for me, man. I'm willing to do anything and everything.
Because that's a skillful. That's a
Yeah.
skillful job. Because my brother-in-law was incarcerated, and he was skillful.
Yeah.
Skillful in plumbing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
a handyman,
Yeah.
electrician. He did everything. He's a
Yeah.
talented guy, and
Yeah.
everybody would. He worked like that. He made good money. That just because. He
Yeah,
went and
like,
believed in
yeah.
God and
Yeah.
said, God, provide me the way out to do this thing and give him the ability to learn. You know?
That's my hang up right now, because I wasted 30 years of my life because I thought I was never coming home.
Uh-huh.
So I had that attitude, right? And it was real negative, and I had a lot of hate in my heart, but I had a lot of hate towards me because I put myself in that situation.
So you
So
in
I
other words, you
didn't
put
pick
yourself
up-
down then.
I didn't. Well, sometimes we're hard on ourselves like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Doug,
but-
he never thought he was coming home, so why should I learn?
Right. So
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasted that
That's a totally
opportunity
different
for taking plumbing,
situation.
mechanics. You know what I mean? Because even my GED, I just barely got my GED at age 49 because I was like, what do I need GED? What am I going to use it in prison for? To wipe a table? To sweep the floor? Right?
Right.
I do that perfectly on my own.
So that's why every
Right.
situation is different.
I totally agree.
So
I
all
totally,
this that we're doing here right now, Doug,
Uh-huh.
is education.
it is education.
You know what
Because
I mean?
people,
This is how we become better people.
and that's why the voice. That's why I totally wanted you to come, because you did open a lot of people's heart. You did a lot of people talking about what is realism, because people try to avoid the reality of people who are homeless. They can't find jobs.
Yeah.
People who are in domestic violence, they're all all over the news. They don't talk about it.
Yeah.
What are there are always negativity
That's true.
that the people don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And so people who are victimized are afraid of what incarceration can do. Like, for example, we do have a resource that we do it, but they don't promote it.
Right.
They cost money to advertise their service. They don't want to put money into their advertisement and supporting incarcerated and make a better way of life.
Right.
Go to the private rehab and retrain yourself and and go back to school and
Right.
get a teaching degree or helping autism or helping with mechanic, whatever. You go
Right.
back to better yourself. I know this lady. She's 71 years old. She got a degree in her master's doctorate, and then the first thing my mom said, "What she use that for? That degree could she can wipe her butt."
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
Mom, that's not
education.
it.
Yeah,
the
but
point
you-
is that she
yeah.
accomplished it.
It's achievement.
It's an achievement, right? And that's good. You know, we all have fears.
Yeah.
My fear was algebra and geometry,
Uh-huh.
right? Because it was intimidating, right? Everything else is common sense.
Right.
But math, you have to apply it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to actually do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was faced with that, but when I was given the opportunity to get your GED, man, and come on home, man, I went to the yard and asked him, man, I'm willing to face this fear, man. Can you teach me geometry?
Mm-hmm.
Can you show me algebra, right? Because I'm gonna get it. I know I am.
You
Because
know
I
what?
believe in myself.
You just give me an idea, Dave. You just
Okay.
give me an idea.
Tell him you paid him with.
You know, you need to get a tutor.
Your tutor in prison.
Yeah, I mean,
Suits.
not
I
prison.
told
You
him
know,
I paid
people
suits.
who are out of incarceration, they
Yeah.
get discouraged to go to adult school. I
Right.
know for a fact. I met when I went running for school board. I
Right.
met a lot of people who came from jail.
Right.
They feel like, oh, I'm so stupid. I don't know. I just dropped out of high school when I was 10th grade. You
Yeah.
think I'm gonna pass in the 12th grade? I said, no, don't give me that. I dropped out of 10th grade.
Yeah.
And I got my GED when I was only 19.
Okay.
Barely. I was only 10th grade, and I passed. I took my GED, and I had to some 4 classes of government class and history class and English, and I got my high school diploma. But people said, no, you can't do it. You're just too stupid. That's
Right.
what they told me. You're not gonna
Yeah,
do
it
it.
breaks your self-esteem.
Yeah,
it
but
damages it.
yeah, and then finally my
Yeah.
mom was like pushing me, like, Doug, don't let what people say.
She
Keep
encouraged
pushing
you,
it. Keep
right.
do it. Don't
Yeah.
listen to them. Don't listen to
Right.
them. You're
And
not
that's
stupid.
Good. That's
That's
the kind
what-
of people we need in our corner.
Yeah, so that's why we need to have some kind of program for our youth that coming out of incarceration and take their GED that think it's not going to be working for their life.
Yeah.
It's to show their
Achievements.
basic achievement of learning. They're not stupid. They're not.
Right.
So we need to have that. We need to have that. We just open that door. Like you said, coping skill
Right.
that we need in our lives.
You just need to reprogram your way of thinking.
You're right.
And change your perspective and your attitude,
Mhm.
man, right?
Right. Okay.
Friends Outside can help with all those things.
Really?
With going back to school, they are
Good.
working for the
Andrew
person that has
Lucero.
just been incarcerated. So I would highly recommend you contact Friends Outside for those types of things.
Wonderful.
Andrew Lucero is a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
Okay.
good advocate for guys like this.
Right.
I'm
And
serious.
Gretchen, she works down there too.
Andrew Lucero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Andrew's a
Now,
personal
the
good
first
friend
thing
of
I'm going to do right now. Okay. Now we're in our last minute of the show. I'd like to thank Margaret, Sabrina, and Dave for coming on our show. Really open our eyes what's needed in the community. Because there's no such thing as bad people. I don't believe. I believe in second chances. I
Yeah.
believe it. Give people an opportunity.
That's right.
You
So
put up with what you want to put up. That's
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying.
right.
You
Yeah, that-
tolerate.
You can
What
tolerate,
wanna
and if you
tolerate.
can't tolerate, just leave.
Yeah, don't
Leave the
buy-
situation. Now,
This builds
before I
character, too,
forget,
so.
tomorrow I'm gonna have a show tomorrow, and I just talked to Governor Don regarding we're gonna have a contest coming up tomorrow. I'm gonna give 2 free tickets for the 4th annual Chicano Community Program Radio Union Car Show. Whoever answer a question, get the right question, get 2 tickets. So that to be tomorrow.
Are you gonna ask
So
that question right now, Dan?
Emphasize.
Because
Not
I'm
now.
ready right now. We want 2 tickets for Betty.
Emphasize. Oh,
Yeah.
emphasize.
so we're gonna
yeah,
have to do
that's
it
true.
tomorrow. So,
That is true.
So we're
I
gonna
heard
find
it's gonna
it.
be a good guacamole and salsa.
And
concert.
salsa.
To eat.
So anyway, thanks for
And
everything.
bachata to dance.
Hey Betty, do you have anything you want to say at the end
Yes,
of the show?
I did. I did want to add something. La Yolanda's made a big batch of tamalitos, and right now she's selling tamalitos are a dozen, 15. And let me tell you, one tamalito is the size of 2 tamales. That's how good. And they're tasty. It's green chile, red chile, and of course pollito. And then they also have the cheese with jalapeno. And I thought I should help her out because, people should know that when you have an opportunity like this to buy a dozen, and throw them in the freezer, guess what? You know, it's so easy to come home and just pull out a tamale, you know, with your little sides, and there's your dinner right there. Boom.
Amen for that. I love
A
tamale.
lot of work.
So Yolanda's is selling her dozen for $15, and she's located at 2860 North California in Stockton, California. And of course, her number is 209-464-2240. Call in your order so that way you get your 1 dozen or 2 dozen or 3 dozen. Hey, why not buy an extra one and make it a gift, right, to someone you love? You know, especially seniors nowadays, you know.
Yeah.
It makes it so easy for them. All they have to do is put it in that microwave, you know, heat it, and there you go. You got a good meal there for dinner or breakfast.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, guys. Welcome. Thanks for watching The Voice of Stockton, the Vigil show, and have a great Sunday afternoon, and have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. All right.
Thank you.